Excellent. Excellent. So yes, welcome parents and godparents. This is an information session. It definitely mirrors what is out there on the website and social media, but goes deeper into it. And I'm happy to send this to anyone along the way. There's no secret sauce to what we have going on. But, as we're talking about, we all are in, parenting. Parenting is a ministry. I'm convinced of that. That, as one of mine just went back to college today and the other is a senior, it's a constant crisis of personal and shared sense of meaning. And there's the natural path of the crisis of being a teenager. And then there is the extraordinary path that some of our teenagers that unfortunately have more been impacted, because that second bullet, I can't wait until we take this off of all slide decks and conversations as we move ahead, but it's going to be a little bit more time, that there was a collapse of dependable teenage milestones for growth. My children in missing the Greek Orthodox camp experience for a full year, having to make decisions that they just didn't have in their mind. And we know as adults how much it disrupted. It's getting back on track for what was brand new for our kiddos. So, and unfortunately, there has been an effect. There's been a decreased involvement in the church overall. And it's how do we get that back? Well, it's investing in each other. And really, that top right-hand corner is, our youth need to know Christ's love and the church on their own more than ever. My husband and I always say that, we hope to give our children the eyeglasses of orthodoxy, because they're going to be out there in the world. It's how that perspective that they are going to be taking with them and the faith that goes along with it. And ultimately, it is love. So here's that solution as parents. And this is what's neat, as some of you already mentioned, is that you've heard of CrossRoads, or this is your first time and wait a minute, it seems to match something. And that is perfectly the desire of what we have here, is providing that ultimate space for those who seek more. So, if you have that child that is enjoying going to church, who is, asking more of those questions. And I'm not talking about the hard wake ups at 8:30 a.m. or earlier for liturgy or, motivating with coffee hour and the donuts. That's completely, I think, developmentally appropriate for all of us at different points in time. But it's, a 10-day academic summer institute that prepares high school juniors and seniors to make those big life decisions and invites them to connect with the Orthodox Christian theological and spiritual tradition in a deep and meaningful way. And I don't want anyone to get caught up on summer institute and academic, because that is a very forefront statement that is highly true. But what the flip side is the academics take place on the ropes course, in the classroom, in multiple churches, at the beach, in downtown. If you're in Boston, you're ministering to the homeless. So academics, as in sitting there and, just taking it in, is certainly not the academics that we speak of today, because of these three things. The curriculum is dynamic and it's explorative, because there's important questions. Who am I? Who is God? And who is my neighbor? And goodness gracious, if I can answer those consistently, that would be a really great day. It's something that we're constantly evolving with and growing. So how do we inspire them within their Orthodox view of vocation, of how to take those questions with them? So then there's our staff, which you have two of their fantastic members, of Jason and Alex, who deal directly with our youth on the call today. Is, they're trained in contemporary youth culture. These are not just, anyone that's picked off the Orthodox street down the road. These are individuals who have been invested in so that they can give back to your children. And it's an Orthodox theological and pedagogical practices. It's that person to person, mentoring type relationship. And in the end, like I said, it's those experiences. It's impactful. My daughter came back. She's a writer, with a journal that took her 5 hours to get through with us. My son, God bless, he goes, it'll be done like, oh yeah, it was great. And that'll be the description. But those are the difference in, kiddos of what's going on. So in the end, in the bottom right-hand corner, CrossRoad is meant to be an extension of your church's ministry and outreach to Orthodox teenagers, so that as they examine what's next, because whether it's college, whether it's the workforce, whether it is an internship, whether it's travel or taking a year off, these are really, really important things for them to be thinking of. So, Jason, would you go over the logistics a bit of just the straightforward nature of what we have going on?
Yeah, absolutely, Deb. Thank you. So kind of the basics then is, like, who are we talking about, and what kind of population do we serve in our ministry? And that's Simple, it's there, your high school juniors and seniors. And we have 4 sessions this year, which is really a unique and new thing. We're expanding a lot, thank God. This is the first time we'll have offered 4 sessions in one summer. And yeah, that's such an amazing thing for us to be able to impact more youth. Session 1 and 2, which we will be headed up by Alex and his team. We have affectionately termed Team Cross because they will be operating at the Hellenic College Holy Cross campus. And then session 3 and 4 will be the team that I'm heading up with my assistant director. And those will be, that's what we're calling Team Road, since we'll be traveling in San Francisco at Dominican University there, north of town, and North Park University for session 4 in Chicago, Illinois. And so you can see the dates listed there. Other aspects, we have, there's a small tuition fee for CrossRoad, $900, and flights are responsible to be booked by participants as well. But one thing that's important to note is that we've never turned away someone from our program for a financial consideration. We have a wonderful scholarship support system that we can help, provide families so that we don't ever have to do that. Yeah, so applications are open now. You can apply online. We have a great system that helps you kind of walk you through each step. And that's one of the things that sets CrossRoad apart and makes it a little bit different from other camping ministries and things like that, we ask our participants to do a few things up front, like write an essay and get a recommendation from their priest or spiritual father, and another recommendation from maybe a mentor or teacher, so that we can, kind of encourage them to enter into the program with questions and to think deeply about what we're going to be able to do together in the 10 days we get to spend. So application deadlines are there. We're hoping to have as many people for early registration as possible, and there's a discount and involved for that, as well as a little bit better priority choice for which session, for people who are able to apply earlier. So yeah, Deb, that's I think that's kind of awesome. The lowdown on logistics.
Yeah, that's absolutely perfect. Thank you, Jason, so much. So within the results, and I can tell you that when you go to either pick up your child if you're driving, or they're coming off, from the airport or things like that, I could see a visible difference from my daughter, who was, oh goodness, okay, I want to go, but mom's kind of told me to go. And, let's figure out, how this is going to be, to then all of a sudden at the end is just this excitement of what has happened. In the middle of the 10 days, they have an opportunity to call home. So it's really neat at that moment where it's a shorter phone call and they're talking a mile a minute, getting things as much as possible. And you as a parent on the back end, you see daily photo updates of what's going on. So you're scouring through and seeing what's going on. So there is that bit of a teaser of all the good things happening. But what my daughter said is, she said, Mom, I have a tribe now. I have a group of people that on Instagram and on whatever else they're doing, and then all that sort of thing. And as she now was in college and went to her first OCF retreat, it was like a reunion of other people that were at CrossRoad before. She also has said, CrossRoad definitely is that deep thinking moments where you're able to really examine things. And my kids have been active participants in the wonderful, Greek Orthodox Archdiocese camp program, but that is very regimented schedules, here and that. And there's a schedule CrossRoad, don't get me wrong, but there is a flow to it that allows for the maturity of the discussions, because that's where our kiddos are at. So really, it's that finding a joy and perspective, that extensive network of friendships and other Orthodox of the same age, and that deeper desire to stay connected to Christ and his church in college and beyond. Because as parents, we can sing until the cows come home about, hey, did you go to church? Have you done this? Have you done that? But it does not mean the same unless they are the ones initiating and building those relationships every step of the way. This is just one, testimonial from Anna, who participated in 2018, and, saying it was the missing piece to my puzzle. That's powerful. And those sort of things, that those students who know and feel that something's missing, to those that didn't even realize that, oh wow, no, these are important things to think about. So it makes it really impactful. So Alex, can you dive into the beyond the crossroad and all that goes on?
Sure. So CrossRoad starts out as a 10-day program where we're welcoming you into our family. But beyond that, we at CrossRoad know that what we're really trying to create is community. So once they attend CrossRoad, this whole new world opens up to them in terms of what they're capable, what opportunities are open to them. Now, every year, CrossRoad has a retreat. Currently, it's held in Boston every year. But as we expand, that is sure to change, holding retreats in other locations. There's an alumni book club that is often led by an Orthodox scholar or priest, but also scholars of the Orthodox faith. And we're always active on social media, in social media groups. Who isn't these days? But we do, thanks to Deb, we've upped our game in that area as well. We have a newsletter, an alumni magazine that comes out every year showing what our alumni are up to, because these are people in the Orthodox world that are actually, growing, maturing, and actually doing great things, working for nonprofits, working in the fields of science, in the arts. And we try to, let people know what's going on in our alumni community. And staying connected. The pictures here are the OCF college conferences, and these pictures are just CrossRoad alums. It's kind of tradition to go and take a photo together, all the CrossRoad alums from all the years at whatever OCF conference they're attending. So you can see that it's a big family actually that you're being welcomed into, which is, I think, as these young people, their stage of development, they're concerned with three things really. That's identity, purpose, and belonging. Who am I? Identity. Who is God? Purpose, and belonging. Who is my neighbor? They're being welcomed into this family, figuring out their answers to these three things.
Oh, thank you so much, Alex. That was awesome. So here's where we're at. How can we help you? As the youth of your parish are in high school, we are designed to support the launching of adulthood. Isn't that a great word, launching? As we look at the dirty rooms or the forgotten homework or the college applications or the what am I going to do next? We want to be in tandem with you so that you have a support network behind the scenes, rooting for you and rooting for your children. So, even beyond your students, what can we help with your church and the 11th and 12th graders? How can we support, you so that that CrossRoad is here for this and beyond? And, we're growing and discerning ways to help parishes more. What are you seeing in the trenches? What more do you need to have happen for your youth? So this is what's next. It's application season, and we would love to see as many applications as possible. And we are happy to speak with more parents. We're happy to speak with your kiddo. If you're like, hey, let's do a 15-minute call with Jason or Deb or Alex or anything like that. Ask a bazillion questions, or maybe even better, an alumni. Our alumni network are the raving fans that we love to have our relationships with, because we get a lot of pull and they nominate someone to say, hey, no, you need to be there. And it's exciting to happen. We can hand address a postcard that then is sent to your son or daughter saying, hey, we'd really hope to see you, please consider this. So anything that we can do, how else can we support you? That is definitely our mission. So thank you for your time today. As we're here live, we're gonna, turn off the video and do some questions. If you are watching a replay of this video, please reach out on that email or that phone number. We are here to connect with you in any way possible, and we wish you a blessed evening.